Good morning. It's Melissa Brown. I'm Melissa Brown. I'm not an it. Well, sometimes I am. And this is Monday, January 27th. The year is 2020. Who'd have thunk it? It's the last Monday in January. Well, I would like to share the light this morning. There it goes. Share the light. Teeny bit of smoke to clear my space. Throw this one away. Sharing of the light. The light that is inside us, and by which we see, the light that lets us see. So good morning. Are you ready for your weather report from Davis, West Virginia, or Canaan Valley, West Virginia? It's we have the same zip code, but it goes up over a mountain. We have snow on the ground, and it's cold outside. And the snow is granular, but not granular from being on the ground and being torn up by skis, but it's just was granular as it came down, and little teeny tiny snowballs instead of snowflakes. Teeny tiny snowballs. So, and it's chilly outside this morning, and I'm glad to have a day that I'm home, and we'll be doing wild and crazy things like laundry and getting Valentine cards ready to send out to my children and grandchildren. These are the days that I really enjoy being home. It's when it's snow on the ground and it's cold outside. I really like that. Let's see. Anything of news or note? I don't think so. Good morning, Wilma. It's good to see you this morning. I hope all's well in your world. Yesterday during Tea and Tarot, Valerie was talking about coming to the end of hermitting season, and our 90 days of the hermitting season are coming to an end this Saturday. I wrote it down, with Imbolc, which is, I believe, this Saturday, February 2nd. It's hard. It's January seems to have disappeared into the wind. Hi, Melody. Good morning. How's life down in North Carolina? Oh, Wilma, Imbolc starts an amazing season. I'm just learning these seasons, although, as you might be able to tell by my pasty white skin, that I am, my heritage is from the Viking, Druid, British Isles, with some German thrown in. Yeah, my dad's grandmother was like second generation German, but the rest of it is pretty much a mix of Scotch, Irish, Welsh, English, we think. that had come here to the U.S. in the late 1700s and early 1800s to cast their fortunes in the New World. So I'm learning about those traditions because they do seem to fit, although I love honoring the traditions and cultures of, I'm really digging on the Chinese Lunar New Year, Year of the Rat, and it's the metal year, and I did not realize that there were, the Chinese culture has 5 elements: water, air, earth, fire, and I forget the other one. I just studied this last week. But they have 5 elements. Metal. That's it. Metal. So, the man-made metal. Because they were making metal long before we were still playing in the dirt. That, us funky white people were still playing in the dirt when the Chinese were making metal, and they led us in a lot of ways on those things, including noodles. But so I enjoy learning about the cultures and our similarities and our differences. Who else has popped on here? Trying to find a house in Ohio? What? I'm on the other side of West Virginia, but I can get to Ohio in 3 hours. That's the edge, the eastern edge of Ohio. Good morning, Alexandra. Spring is my favorite. Fall. I'm kind of partial to fall, but I love them all. I love all the seasons, Wilma. Sherry West, good morning. Taryn, good morning. I don't remember. I just know paganism has 3 in bulk. The earth wakes. The animals get up. And I can't open and Beltane, we do. We wake up at Beltane. All right. So let's center ourselves, pull ourselves into ourselves and each other. And if we would, a friend over at the end of last week, his dog got loose, and we think the last time he was seen, he was limping near a road, so he might have been hit by a car, and he hasn't been seen since. So his name is Buck, and he is an Australian Shepherd. And his human's name is Steve, closer to my age, not as old as I am, but close, maybe 10 years younger. And you know what it's like when you, that's his companion. So if we could put our Reiki, I don't know what other words to call them, thoughts out for Steve and Buck, that maybe Buck can be found. My daughter's been out and her friends have been out with their dogs looking for Buck, but haven't found him yet. Okay, so let's bring our breath in. Deep breath in, drawing in the spirit, centering ourselves, feet on the ground, breathing out with thanks. Breathe in, acknowledging the light that illuminates for us to see, and the light from within that lets us see, that gives us vision. Breathe in. With thanks, and breathe out with thanks for our blessings. I lift you up. We lift up those who are seeking what is lost. We hold them in our hearts. And so it is. Amen. Alexander loves all the season. Good morning from Painted Post, New York. Nithya, I don't know how to say your name. I hope that was right. And Venus, good morning. Ooh, 8 Mile Radius. Yeah, they had a sighting of him, and I don't know where it was, and a buck. And it's, dogs can really move. And we are on a national forest. Our little settlements, our neighborhoods are all intermixed around a national forest, 2 state parks, a national wildlife area, and a state wildlife area. So we are wooded, and as my daughter Maggie said, she and her dog had trouble getting out of the rhododendron patches. Yeah, so it's she came home quite scratched up. Thank you, Wilma. Okay. All right, so here we go with our recap of Valerie's Tea and Tarot. I hope that you watched it, and if you didn't, I do hope that you do. I found it, when I watch it, I am in a transcription mode, and it's a different mode than just sitting and listening and absorbing. It is a different way of absorbing it, because I'm the kind of person that, having been a student for so many years, and I continue to be a student, is I learn through my hand. You can't see my hand. I'm over here going this. I learn through my hand. I learn through writing, transferring it from my ears into my hands onto paper, and transcription kind of idea. But yesterday, Valerie had a lot of energy, and yes, a lot of energy. So I'm just going to go through my notes, and I had 3. Usually, sometimes I can get 1 page of notes. It'll be very concise. Then other times it'll be a page and a half. Well, today's 3 pages of notes. So there was a lot. So yesterday, Valerie talked about clearing away the dredge from the hermiting season. That some of us have had a rocky, bumpy path through the mud and the muck of the underworld. That she has mentioned other times that she does not make her New Year's resolution, but that Imbolc is a time for resolutions after the hermiting season. She talked about hunger can awaken new ideas, new practices, and new possibilities. She invites us to be more spiritually hungry. That next Saturday is Imbolc, and it's that she will have guided guided whatever it is that she does in moon meditations. Guided Valerie in moon meditations. How's that? And that loving this yourself will be a key to the portal of Imbolc. Loving yourself will be a key to the portal of Imbolc. And this is coming from your hermiting. And it's the continuing quest to connect to the source, to sacred. So, in messages, that was the word. Imbolc guided messages in moon meditation. Guided Valerie. She is our messenger, isn't she? In the swirl, our card started out with the Ancestor card, and this was from the Wildwood Tarot, and that card sits at Imbolc. It is the call of Imbolc between two birches. That is on the card. I'm going to try to remember to take a picture when I drive out of the little community that I live in. There is a spot that is a grove of birches, and I said something about that to my husband. He goes, "What?" Now, this is the tree man, the man who taught himself about trees and can recognize trees. He'd never noticed that there's the road goes through. There's birches on either side of the road. But I think about that after Valerie has taught us about the birches, that there's a shamanistic experience recognized in that Ancestor card, that between those two birches and for us this week is a cosmic opening, a gateway of new life. Then the Ace of Bows is our second card, and it is reversed. The Ace of Bows is called the Spark of Life. As reversed, what are we forgetting about our own lived experience? Okay, listen. Where are you spending time raging at the expense of following? The reversed Ace of Bows. Where are you spending time raging at the expense of following? The King of Bows reversed is the third card, which is kind of problematic with that Ace of Bows, and that's the adder, and it's toxic to the sacred path. Even when things are out of alignment, we still get to choose the sacred path. Just, as Dory says, just keep swimming, just keep choosing the sacred path. Valerie talked about Ellen of Ways, the keeper of migration of the ancient pathways, that there is a point of study one could do. That we are standing at the start of the labyrinth at Imbolc, that and with the bows, Ace of Bows in reverse, is your sacred flame little? What means something? What means something to you? What is your direction of fire and sacred fire? Is it an alignment with your values and your authority? What you set as your authority? Are you in alignment? The reversed bows cards are saying to us, are we in alignment? So then on the path, the Two of Arrows, and the card is injustice in the Wildwood Tarot. this card is choices and decisions. Don't hover over your rationalizations. Think of that. Word picture there. Don't hover over your indecisions. Not only are you being indecisive, you're hovering over your indecisions. You don't listen. You don't have to forgive, but you need to let go. If you say, "I can't forgive," let go. It's a choice. Back to the King of Bows, even when things are out of alignment, you still get to choose your sacred path. Choose to let go. Pray to let go. If you can't pray to give forgiveness, pray to let go. It's time to move on. And if you can't quite move on, just let go a little bit. Take that stranglehold off of your false conclusions and unjust decisions. Don't be a doormat. Seek your authentic path. Seek what Valerie said, seek what lies in your deep belly. Then the next card is the Wheel, and that sits at Mabon, and it's the Weaver of Fate. Welcome change. So you can't, if you can't move on, you can't welcome. It's harder to welcome change. You're kind of dragging you're asking other people to drag you through the mud with your boots getting muddy. So welcome change and pick up the shuttle to weave with. We learn our lessons. It's in the matrix, but we have to pick up our shuttle. The pole star is reversed, was the next card. That also sits at Imbolc. It sits with the ancestor. The energy of the gateway, that's the energy of the gateway. Will you choose your journey? Will you choose your awakening? Will you choose a little bit of awakening? You have to believe it even though you might not see it right away. The pull is there. The star reversed might note that there is a lack of faith, and back to that reversed Ace of Bows is a dwindling flame. It's still make the choices. Make your choices to move on. Then the Illumination card, Six of Bows, it sits at Summer. Abundance and blessing of potential. A swirl of action. Then the next card in the Illumination was the Guardian, or the Devil in the traditional tarot, reversed. Do not return to your misery. Do not return to your misery. It's a choice. It's a choice. And changing your lifestyle can be difficult because it's much easier to go back into our ruts than it is to jump out and put your wagon over, out of the ruts. But you can move into new territory. So whatever has happened, pick up your shuttle and weave. Take it deeper. Investigate. Continue to investigate, and it will be risky, but don't resist the lesson. So I hope that helped. I hope that clarified or emphasized or enticed you to go back and listen to Valerie's Tea and Tarot yesterday. It was one of her big messages. It's coming out of hermitting. And if you've done any hermiting work, even the least, this should have a lot of resonance with you. To move on into Imbolc, into the new season. So the one thing that really stood out to me is when she said, "Seek your authentic path." Amongst all the other nuggets that she gave us yesterday, is seek your authentic path. And so this morning for our cards, that was my question: is what can the cards tell us today to help seek our authentic path? Well, I used I've been using the Rider-Waite deck, and so I picked back up my Gaiam Tarot, and this is for me a little more difficult to read after I've been all 90 days into the Rider-Waite Tarot, Rider-Waite-Smith, but it is just because it's new, so it's fresh. It's for the new season. So what do we need to seek out our authentic path? And I went with within, without, and advice for the 3 cards this morning. So the card that came out for within is the 4 of Waters, and it came out reversed. So I do have to show it to you upright. It's a woman sitting by a well and looking into the well. Is she, in looking into the water, is she scrying? Is she just using the water meditatively? What speaks to you in this card? Now, I don't think I marked it, but it's easy to get around in this book, the 4s. I want to tell you about this the sun. I'm not anywhere near it. Ace of Fire, 3, 4 of Air, 4 of Water. A young woman gazes into the water of the Chalice Well, a holy well in Glastonbury, England. Is she sad and grieving, or is she at peace? She may be scrying the patterns on the surface of the water, or contemplating the mysteries of the well's red waters. The lady of the well murmurs secrets in her ear as she gazes at the water. If her own personal well is empty and in need of replenishment, it will be filled to overflowing in this sacred place. So that's a little bit about this well. It's an actual place in England. Most of these, a lot of these cards are from the state of Washington, where the author and artist live. But this is a well from England. So in the reverse, the card asks us, or says to me, who's feeling drained and empty? Whose well has run dry? And mine's feeling pretty good, to tell you the truth. After hermiting season, I'm feeling pretty energized. But the message here is go to the water this week. however you can get to the water, even if it's a soaking bath, a ritual bath. Find a way to work on your emotional balance going into this new season. Find a way to appreciate your blessings. So that's from within, the message from within. Then without came another water, is the 8 of water. And let me show you this one upright. The 8 of water is, excuse me, is talking about, once again, the water overwhelming you. In the reversed position is the past overwhelming you, is that wake, the water in your wake, overwhelming you, slowing you down when you're trying to swim against the current, trying to swim away from something or wash away something. Are you fighting against your authentic life? Embrace your true path is the, in the book, this is the meditative reflection that is written, that the author has written for this card. The meditation, one meditation sentence she writes for each card is embrace your true path. So that really fits with our cards for today. So are within and without. Then the advice card for today came up, the 7 of fire. Now look at this card. We have a blacksmith here. She's intent and working, or using her tools, working metal, working her the fire and the metal to shaping the metal. And this card is in conjunction with our tea and tarot yesterday, is take a risk for your personal growth. Forge your steel. Take the opportunity to transform using what was learned from hermiting season. She's a strong woman. Use what you've learned for through strength from your hermiting season. So that's the cards for today. Martile says she's been drained with the kids, but focusing on some self-care this week. Yeah, you know, one time when my oldest daughter was little, I realized that sometimes just sitting in the rocking chair and holding her was my self-care. Holding her felt good, rocking her felt good, and rocking me felt even better. So sometimes self-care does not have to be going for a manicure or a pedicure. It's simply acknowledging that these moments are yours and that they're for you. You want me to draw want another card? So put my hand down in my card drawer here. These are notes from the universe. It was a 60 card deck from Mike Dooley, but I have mailed these out from the universe. What is it? The universe, thoughts of the universe. And I have left them laying places for people. A note from the universe, that's what it's called. And so I don't have 60 cards left anymore. If you need a card mailed to you, you can PM me and I'll just see what comes up. Let's see what it is. Sometimes they're a little, esoteric is the word that jumps to mind, although I don't remember what that means right now. But they often mean more to somebody else than they mean to me, which isn't that always the truth. So here's our message from the universe today. You do realize, don't you, that there have been others in lifetimes, millennia, and civilization past who have been to some of the same places you've been? Yet they got so scared they lost control, turned away, or flat out quit. Yep, and they surround you now in the unseen, your greatest admirers. Thanks, the universe. And you thought Facebook was so don't turn away and don't quit. You can always try again. Try again. Don't quit, because we have us. We have us to take care of us. So I'm very excited about Valerie's let's go back and see what it was. And I hope that I do indeed have that time free. On Saturday the 15th from 1 to 3 p.m., she will be doing learning the Celtic Cross. And I have looked at it in books and gone, oh, too many cards laying down at one place. I can do 3 cards. I'm hip with 3 cards. I can dig on that. So I'm looking forward to signing up for that. I'm assuming she's going to find us out a way, she's going to let us know a way to sign up for that. And also you can sign up, you can also contact her to have a Celtic Cross done for you. That's what she's going to be doing, is her offerings on, well, she does them Zoom, and you make a transaction with her. But I'm looking forward to learning about how to participate, how to learn about a Celtic Cross. Okay, folks, I've gone on quite long enough, haven't I? Yes, I have, longer than usual. But as Valerie said yesterday, it's a big message. It's a big week. Take the opportunity to transform what you've learned in hermiting. I feel like I need to finish up some. I think I've started a study on Jungian psychology, and I'm afraid I'm stuck with a long term of study. So have a wonderful day. If you need me, you know where to find me. And I hope you have a lovely Monday.